Now, before I get comments about how I shouldn't play with electricity or I've got too many wires in the same spot or something like that, don't worry, okay? I'm prepared, all right? Always be prepared, you know, make sure your gas tanks are full at all times, you know? That way you don't go buying all the gas from everybody else so nobody else can have any. Anyway. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be doing is something that I was honestly thinking about doing for like many years now, which is, so when I painted this truck orange, I was kind of thinking, you know, maybe just for fun to put the 01 on the door, you know, like the General Lee or whatever, and you know, put a Dixie horn on it and stuff like that and make it into like a General Lee truck. And I was going to do that a long time ago. I could never really find anyone that would make me the right size decals for these doors, because all the ones online are made for, you know, 69 Dodge Charger doors, so they're not exactly, you know, the right size for a door like this. But anyway, the other day I went and bought some anyway. They're not here yet, but at the same time I ended up buying this little horn that plays you know, the Dukes of Hazzard Dixie horn, you know, with the horn sound and whatnot. And I went with one of these instead of the air horn kind, because I didn't like any of the air horns. They were all just cheap, like, you know, plastic air horns, and I couldn't find any Dixie horn kits that even sounded right at all. So what I ended up doing is getting this one. This is from boomblasters.com, and we're gonna see if this, I've already listened to it a couple times, you know. It doesn't sound exactly perfect, but I guess it sounds as good as you can expect for, you know, a tiny little electric horn, I suppose. So I think it'll still be better than trying to wire up and hook up all these different, point it that way so it's not too loud for the camera. I think it'll still be better than some of those cheap horn kits that I've seen, because I honestly just don't think that they're very good quality, and they don't exactly sound right. So that's what it sounds like. Not exactly the perfect sound, but I don't know, it gives me something to do, I guess. Try to install this little thing on there. So they give you a little switch. We have to go buy more wire, obviously, because that's not going to be enough wire to run a switch into the cab of the truck. Yeah, boomblasters.com, not any kind of a sponsorship or anything like that. So we got to go buy wire, and we'll hook that up. We'll see when my 01 show up, if I even end up putting them on. I don't know if they're going to fit right. I don't know if they're going to be the right, you know, kind of vinyl, because there's these that I put on a long time ago, and you can see they're getting a little dirty now. These have been on here for, you know, a real long time. Probably four years now, something like that. 3.5 years, probably, close to 4 years. And I mean, they've held up okay. Definitely not, I don't know, they're really starting to show some wear now. But we'll see if those show up, you know, what they end up looking like. Also, the Bronco. See that? Well, the mice have made a house in my door panel now, since whenever they came out here, I ended up killing them in traps. They've since decided that now they want to live in the door panel instead. So I don't know how they even got in there, but they did. So at some point, I'm going to have to get them out of there. But yeah, we're not doing that today. I did a little bit of stuff to the Bronco since the last Bronco video. Not really. I just kind of did all new steering parts. So those are all brand new, and they're just kind of on there. They're not, you know, really how they're supposed to be yet. They're just kind of loose right now. I need to tighten them up and, you know, get the tires exactly where I want them and whatnot, but it's going to need to get aligned anyway, so it really doesn't matter. And I got the new Pitman arm on there as well. So I haven't really been touching this thing lately. I've just been kind of, I don't know, killing mice and just letting it sit here. But anyway, we got to go buy some wires, and then we can hook this little thing up. Should be kind of fun. Alright, so I went and bought some wire. Alright, I think this is 18 gauge wire. It doesn't really matter. The thing here comes with 22 gauge wire, so I could have used that, but I also bought a bigger, kind of a little heavier duty switch, it kind of takes more pressure to push it down. So this is how I'm going to wire it. All right, and I know this is kind of a pay no attention to my vice grips here. This is how I'm going to wire it. So I've got negative out of the horn into the battery there, and then red is positive. All right, I have that going to the switch. Then I have this going back to the battery here. All right, which then gives the horn constant power. Okay, I do not really like this horn having constant power because I don't exactly trust it to whatever little mechanisms they have in there so that it doesn't you know, catch on fire. I don't know if I exactly trust those. But then the yellow one goes to the switch, which then activates the horn. So I'm gonna see, I don't know. I might add a second switch just so that the red isn't always connected. I might add a toggle switch. I might put a toggle switch on it and put a momentary switch on it. So you have to have the toggle switch switched, and then you can push the button, because I do not want constant power running through this little Chinese horn. So now I'm going to go and make this, but on a bigger scale, and put the little button here in the cab. Well, it has since started to rain, but I'll show you guys what I'm doing here. Thankfully, I can do all this from the inside, but I took this little trim piece off, right? Now, I said that I was going to wire up maybe a toggle switch or something to it. I really don't need to do that, but I'm doing it anyway. So instead of a toggle switch, what I'm doing is I'm putting this red switch that came, oh, sorry, you can't even see that. I'm putting this red switch that came with the horn itself. All right, this is just basically going to be to ground out the power wire, which sounds weird, but I'm going to connect power wire at one side, power wire, the power wire to this side and the power wire to this side are going to be the exact same wire, just this is just going to act as a break in the center, which will stop power from constantly going to the horn. You have to push this to power the horn, and then you'll have to push this as well to power the, or to, this will power the horn and this will activate the horn. So complicated. Do I need to do it? No. Did I already do it? Yes. So that's what we're doing, and I'm putting it here in this trim piece here. You can see I had to drill some of this out. I think that looks pretty clean, right? You know, then you just got boom, boom. You can tell the kids at the car show that it's nitrous and let them push it, and then it won't be nitrous, but you know, they'll still be surprised, I suppose. All right, I'm gonna keep going. So I was confusing myself for a minute there because, you know, I only bought black wire, and I've got a red and a yellow and a black, but I used all black wire, so I ended up getting it all mixed around. But thankfully, you know, I pushed the button a couple times while it was mixed around, and it didn't break the horn. So proof of my little plan here. Okay, I'm just gonna explain. If you guys are trying to do this for yourselves, you don't need to do this stupid button switch. But anyway, all this button does, you can see the wire wraps around the bottom and meets up with the other power. So this is red. Okay, so according to like the colors that are on the you know, the actual horn there, you got red, yellow, and then this goes to the battery. All right, all the way to the right is red, yellow, battery. Okay, so hopefully I'm not confusing people too much. I probably am, but it works. So now I need to go ahead and make sure no things are going to touch each other. I actually ended up breaking this switch and then I had to take it apart and fix it. Wasn't too hard. I got to make sure nothing touch each other, you know, get it all wired up and make it fancy. I'm going to have to end up, I'm running so many wires through this thing from the rock lights and whatever else. And if you guys are wondering why I didn't just go ahead and use this toggle switch here instead of using a button, that is the switch for the rock lights. And if I used that, I would need to have the rock lights on all the time for me to use the horn. So that's why I didn't use that toggle switch. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have to end up getting some of that wire, sorry, excuse me. I'm gonna have to end up getting some of that stuff for you know, to wire shielding or whatever. so that we don't have like a million different colored wires like going all over the place. I should really make that look a little cleaner than that. But I'm gonna go through, get everything all buttoned up, and yeah. I also need to decide where I want to mount the horn. I didn't do that yet, but it's just kind of sitting here, so I'm gonna figure that out as well while I'm doing that. All right, well, we've got it all buttoned up under the hood and whatever else. I ended up just mounting it right where it was. I just took a zip tie and zipped it right to that. So that's all done. I definitely, since I'm doing all these electronics and everything like that, I'm definitely gonna need to get some of that wire loom bullshit, you know, the sheathing for it, because it's starting to look like a friggin' mess under there. But here's my setup, and you'll see that, you know, I've got my 2 buttons, looks pretty clean, and this is, like I said, it's getting out of control. I need to do something about it. But, you see this one, all this does is make it so that you can actually press this button, because if you press this button without pressing that button, and if for whatever reason you were to let go of both, it cuts the sound. So it's just a little extra safety precaution, you know. The red button is for safety, and this button is for yee-hawing. Yeah, that's about all I got to say. Anyway, hopefully this video helps some of you guys out if you were thinking about getting one of these horns for yourself, or you're wondering if they're, you know, a piece of shit or not. We'll see. We'll see how long it lasts. They're not waterproof. Keep that in mind. So I'm actually going to try to find something to put over mine, which will probably make it a little bit quieter, but I don't want it to, you know, get water in it. So I think it's in a pretty safe spot right now on there. But if I go, you know, if I ever go off-roading again with this thing, you know, we're going to get mud, water, everything splashing all up in there. So that probably wouldn't be the best for it. But if you made it this far in the video, or if this video helped you out, or if you just liked watching me struggle, make sure to leave a like on this video. Comment down below what your favorite Dukes of Hazzard episode was. Let's see. I watched one the other night. Well, I think it's the all right. My favorite one is the one where Cletus is driving the armored truck, and Boss Hogg's money in it. Boss Hogg's money is in it, and then the plan kind of fails. I don't want to spoil it for nobody, but that one, I think it's called The Heist. That's my favorite episode. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one, where we'll probably be doing some Bronco stuff, because I just bought all front brakes for the Bronco. So yeah.